Okay, so you're welcome. You're welcome. I want to welcome everybody to this amazing training. This is a training that is designed to ensure that our time to sell is a sales class. So everything we are going to be talking about is going to be how to improve what we sell. I possibly may quickly want to, because of the number that we have. Please, you can go to the chat section and please, can you introduce yourself? My name is Wale Adejuibe. I am often called Coach Wale, and I'm the facilitator. I'm the one that is speaking to you this evening. By the grace of God, I want to go on with this every Thursday like this. I want every Thursday like this by 6 p.m. to be the time where as many people as possible, we can come together and speak about selling. I believe that one of the areas that really need to be more predictable, one of the areas that effectiveness is greatly needed, is actually the area of sales. Everybody that really sells or everybody that moves in sales will always experience income, no matter the level, no matter what the economy is saying, no matter what the environment, no matter the capacity of people. We have seen people that have been able to change their existence. We have seen people that have been able to change their reality. We have seen people that have moved in class just by ensuring that they can sell, just by, functioning in the place of sales. So please, I would like us to introduce ourselves. Please, can you go to the chat section and just drop your name and possibly maybe the location where you are coming from. So please, I would like to have you, if you can, please put it there. This training is titled Selling Faster. Selling Faster. I believe that fast sales or increasing and improving your time to sell is one of the ways to showcase your sales effectiveness. Yes, if you have that, you can even influence others that are actually selling your product. To run a sales system, there must be a prototype or a model. When I train about on sales system, because I train on sales system, in other words, sales management, how you can manage sales representatives, sales team, how you can manage them to be able to sell. One of the things I speak about extensively is creating a model. As a matter of fact, this is the first reason why sales teams don't deliver results. So you have a company that has a product, and then they raise sales teams around the product. You are paying 3, 4, 5 people, 7 people. You are paying them to market, to get sales, to bring in sales, and you are giving them monthly salary. And for 3 months, there is no sales. The first thing that I see as a sales consultant is the fact that there is no model that is presented to them. You see, if you have a team of people that are going out to sell, the first thing you have to teach them is not to motivate them. Because if you don't give them the main thing and you motivate them, motivation will not work. No, it won't. It won't. They will be motivated right there. But the truth of the matter is that the real work or the real deal will come on board. This is why the first thing to do with sales team is to create a sales model. It's like a prototype that you want them to follow, and then you ideate it. You ideate that prototype, and then you push it, they test it, it begins to work. The person that have used it to work comes back into the in-house training and share, okay, what are the things? And others that didn't work, they share their bottlenecks, and then we begin to put it in place. But this is not a training for sales team. This is not a sales management training. This is how to create that model first. Oh yes, and like I said, I'm going to be ensuring that this will go on every Thursday by 6 p.m. So you know what? After this, you might as well share. If you have a team of people, if you have a sales team or team of people, you might remind them that on Thursdays by 6 p.m. something amazing is happening. Every 6 o'clock is how to sell faster. That's the team, selling faster. And the reason why I'm coming up with this like this is because I see how a lot of people have targets. I see how a lot of people are working towards increasing and improving the condition of the business by generating more income. I see how people are looking for investors. And it looks as if we are putting down one of the most important processes or most important practices that brings about that, and that is sales. I'm telling you, it's sales. You are not only selling when you have a product. If you have an idea and you need people to invest in that idea, you must understand the principles of sales. You must understand how to sell your ideas. If you have plan of expansion and you actually have a lead to somebody who can fund, finance, invest, and really maybe venture capitalist, the major thing about it is the fact that you have to let them understand the place of sales. You have to. Selling is a critical practice in business. It is even the lifeblood of business, if I can say it that way. We are in business the day we start making sales. We are in business once we start having people that are interested in our product. And virtually what I want to speak about today is how do I improve the time to sell with my target audience, and I would like to kickstart this way. So please, if you have people, the link that got you into this, you can still share it with other people so that we can have, a robust set of a lot of people. I'm so happy at the number that I'm seeing here. This is encouraging me as the first sales training that I'm having of this kind. I believe that it's going to worth your time. It's going to really worth your time. I speak as a consultant. I'm a management consultant. It's my 12th year of working with different businesses in the area of management, facility management, B2B sales, B2C sales, consumer selling to consumers, sales training. I train staff of different organizations and small businesses and a business consulting. Okay, let's start. I said, if you are selling, no matter whatever you sell, either you are selling a professional service or you are selling a product or you are selling yourself. Oh yes, you are selling yourself. Whatever you are selling, you are in one of these three categories. Number one is you are either product focused or you are structure focused. Oh yes, if you are selling, that means that your attention is on your product. That means that you really pay attention to your product. Oh, I have this estate, I have this property that I want to sell. I make sure that everything is intact, and then I want to present the product to the people. Oh yes, it is very good. It is not bad. It is not bad to be product focused. The only challenge about it is that if we are talking about fast sales, if you are talking about selling faster, it is not the recipe for selling faster. The product you have cannot be the focus. Your product must be excellent. Please don't get me wrong. Your product must be on point. It must be cool. It must be good. But you have to understand that there are very, very critical things that you must pay attention to in that. The second is the structure. Some people are structure focused. That means they look at the processes, the way they interact, the way they deal with others, and the way they do things. Oh yes. However, if you ask me, the best is to be audience focused. The best is to be audience focused. What do you mean, or what do we mean by being audience focused? It means that your attention is not first on the product, neither is it on the structure of the business or the structure of the service that you have. Your attention is first on your audience. Your audience is very powerful. Audience-based strategy is a critical strategy right now. And the reason why I'm sharing this with us is because I want you to see it from this angle. Audience-focused sales is the best. And allow me to be able to show you. It helps you to sell faster. It helps you to sell bigger. It helps you to sell better. You know, we are in an economy where relationship is currency. Relationship is key. Relationship is very important. I do one-on-one coaching program with salespeople. You know, some people contact me and said, "Oh, please, I want to spend the next 30 or 40 minutes with you. Let me run my model, my process through you. Maybe if there's any areas that is faulty, but is any area that is faulty, I might have been able to get myself." And many times I notice that the attention is either on product or on structure. I said, that is where you are missing it. Why? Because you are talking to me about your product. You are talking to me about the structure of your organization. You're talking to me about how your service is exceptional, how everything is cool. I said, no matter how good your service is, I'm not seeing the trace of your audience. I'm not seeing anything about the definition of the people you want to sell to. I'm not seeing any strategy that gets you to the face of those people. I'm not seeing anything in your outline or in your activity, in your sales activity, that says that this is how I want to build my audience. I said, because if you don't have that, your sales may come, but it's going, number one, it's going to be unpredictable. Number two, it's going to be longer than usual. But when you see people that have mastered sales, when you see people that have mastered, that have mastered time to sell, it looks as if they are selling every other day or every other week. Check them. They are people that understand the principle that I'm sharing right now. They are first audience focused. They know that their product is not as important as the person that wants to buy the product. And permit me to say that the higher your product, the higher the value of your product, the more you have to pay attention to your audience. You can't sell a 70 million naira property to people that you don't know, because the higher the value of the product, the higher the need for trust. The higher the value of product, the higher the need for trust. And people don't buy right now from people they don't trust. As a matter of fact, I like putting it, So if you will allow me, I like to say that audience focused strategy is a critical aspect to improve your sales. Everything in sales is about audience. I don't know if you agree with me, but when it comes to sales, now when it comes to customer service, customer experience, customer management, different aspect, business re-engineering, we can talk about structure. When it comes to product development, when it comes to a lot of aspects, we can talk about other things. But it is very, very important and critical to understand that when it comes to sales and selling, everything in sales is about audience. It's about who you are speaking to, who is listening to you, who is responding to you, who likes you, who knows you, who trusts you. Everything about sales is about audience. You have to make sure. In fact, one of the things I used to tell some people when I'm possibly when I'm doing physical training with a sales team or sales managers, I say it every time, even business managers, I say it every time. I say, quarantine your product. If you know you have a product and it's not selling, just go and store it first. It is time to sit down carefully. It is time to sit down with people. It is time to sit with people that really can it is time to get people on board. It is time to be a student of audience. You need to sit carefully and say, oh, I need to know these people. I need to, who are the people that, what are their cravings? What are their desires? Who do they like? Who do they know? Who do they trust? It's very important to play your sales game this way so that you can have fast sales. Let me go on. I said privileged audience most times is often underrated. There are two types of audience that you are going to have. If you are running target audience, you have to understand this. There are audience that I call general audience, and there are people that I call privileged audience. Oh yes, general audience means, I'm not just talking about general people. I'm not talking about people generally. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you have set your target right. You set your target and said, oh, my attention is on young professionals. Oh, another person says, oh, my attention is on uprising or maybe people in technology space. Another person says, oh, my attention is on bankers. My attention is on small business entrepreneurs. My attention is on the diasporas. You see, you have a target. Let me assume that those targets also, you are working towards them. But in that target, you have to split it again and tell yourself there are general audience and there are people that I call privileged audience. These ones are exclusive. These ones are the people that you have to sit. They are called decision makers, and their decision means a lot. Oh, yes. So I have here why Lamborghini and Ferrari don't advertise. I stumbled on this actually. It was an article that I stumbled on one time, and I decided that, oh, wow, I'm so interested. And the reason from the picture, it says that because people who can afford such cars don't waste their time watching TV. Well, if you think about it, Lamborghini, Ferrari, really, they don't really advertise on TV. You can't be on YouTube and the next thing you're going to see is an advert on Lamborghini and the reason is because these people were creating products and they did not have the general audience in mind. They had the privileged audience, the people that really can buy high net worth products. They are high net worth individuals that will buy high net worth products. And it's so critical and important to understand this. I mean, it's just as if it's 1, 2, 3 together, that anybody that owns a Rolls Royce actually travels through private jets. If you look at it very well, if there's anyone that really owns a Rolls Royce, so that shows me something. There's a place where these people advertise. There's a place where they put their product so that certain people that they know that, yes, these ones can afford what we sell. And the same thing, the first question I have for you today that I want you to really clarify is that who are your privileged audience? And who are your general audience? How you get privileged audience is not the same as how you get general audience. How you get them are not the same. No, they are not. So, and what I'm sharing right now is to buttress the fact that your audience are so critical. If you want to sell faster, I want to know the number of people that likes you, the number of people that are listening to you, the number of people that you talk and they want to hear you, the number of people that are interested in what you are selling, the number of people that know you as a person and knows your product, the number of people that really will listen to the testimonials of your clients. Because it is not enough to have client testimonials. Just like I spoke to someone and told me, see, these are people, were showing me on the website. These are people. I said, wait, it's not about that. It's not about that first. We need to first settle something, which is the foundation of your sales. We need to settle the people that can listen, that listens and they like and they know you. Before the trust, of course, social proof always lead to trust. When people see their kind patronizing you, they are compelled to patronize you. And because when they see those people, it's psychological. They tend to want to patronize you. That's very key. However, I always like to say that you must ensure that you settle the place of, do I have something that can resonate with these people? How do I get the attention of these people? How do I make them subscribe? How do I make them come on board? How do I get them together? Okay, so if it is okay, or let me say that everyone is not your audience. That's the first reality of anyone that wants to increase sales, that wants to improve time to sell. Everybody is not your audience. You cannot be looking for everyone, even in that your target audience. Some people are looking for people that are interested, while some people are looking for people that have power. You see, the way you approach interested people and powerful people are not the same, because sometimes interested people may not have the power for your product, and sometimes powerful people may not have interest in that your product. And I'm telling you, that's the reality. That's reality. You see, interested people and powerful people. Interested people are people that when you speak, they listen, they like your post, they see your messages, they contact you, they say, oh, hello, I just saw your ad on social place. I just saw your post about this. Can I know more about this? Can I know more about this? That's interested people. And it's okay. It's okay to, get those people. But the second people are powerful people. These people, they possibly really, they don't like the post, they don't, and that's why a lot of people on Instagram says, oh, I posted the product, it had only 2 likes, and you won't believe I had somebody buy and told me that, oh, I actually saw it on Instagram. The person sent me a DM, did not like, did not comment, just sent a DM. And why? Because powerful people will not like your posts. They are not interested, as it were. They just want to get their product. And so the way to reach interested people is not the same way to reach powerful people. You must understand this clearly. And this is what makes your audience building, this is what makes it very unique and very important. I believe that one of the most important activity that any salesperson can embark on is audience building. Oh yes, audience building. There are seven checklists. Anytime a business ask me, I'm introduced, I'm coming into a business to train the sales team, or to spend time with the sales manager or the business manager, there are 7 things that I will tick that shows me that you're on the right track. If you cannot tick those 7 things, forget it. The first is audience building. And then I'm asking, how many people listen to you? Oh yes, because that's where it starts from. How many people are listening to you? That's very key. How many people are listening? Oh yes. How many people are actually listening to you? Because I can tell you that your sales is going to really come from your audience. Your customers will come from your audience. Your customer will not come from the blues. It won't come from just just throwing product at random. No, it won't come from there. It will come from your audience. And this is so critical and so important. So everyone is not your audience. You must make sure that your audience building, oh my God, traffic must mean something to your business. Traffic must mean something to your activity on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. When you are setting your target or you are setting your goals, your audience goal must be the first. Amazing how a lot of people are setting customer goals when they don't have anybody listening to them. So think about it. As I'm speaking now, begin to ask yourself, how many people are listening to me? How many people are hearing about my product? How many people are seeing it? How many people are creating a form of connection? And how am I ensuring that that connection is sustained? Because you just need to know as much as possible. This is the reason why some people will do everything to make an event. Some people will do everything to be in a conference. Some people will do everything to meet a mentor. Some people will do everything to meet people. Why? Because it's about audience building. It is about audience building. If you are not making sales right now, or you are not selling as fast as you want, something is terribly wrong with your audience building activities. Very important. And really, I believe that in this small training, oh yes, like I said, this training happens every Thursday. This is the first, and this is not going to be the last. I'm going to try as much as possible. Let's create a community where everybody advances sales. Oh yes, every time like this, every Thursday by 6 p.m., you have me here. I believe that people that will dedicate themselves and their time to be able to get this up like this. So I want to talk about some strategies, not all strategies that can help for you to build audience. If audience building is a critical part of sales, what are the strategies? How do I build audience successfully? How do I come up with, people that really can resonate with my product and they buy my product, so that sales will be, I want to call it automated, but really there is nothing like automated sales. But the truth about it is that sales will be faster, sales will be better, referrals moves, audience, everybody, and then you are something that I can call you are sold out. Oh yes, it's an experience. Being sold out is an experience, and I tell you that experience exists. I can tell you that. It's sincerely speaking, that experience exists. Okay, so let's take it one step at a time. Let's take it up. So when it comes to strategies for audience building, there are three things that really I want to talk about. Very important. First is communication. You have to understand the process of audience building. The process of audience building, very key. And then the content at the extreme end is also very important. So the first thing that begins the process is communication. If you want to build audience, you have to pay attention to communication. Communication being that you have to define your audiences. Define audience so that your messaging and your presence will be clearly defined. Let me say this. Two things are very important when it comes to sales and when it comes to audience building activity. Number one is your message. Number two is your presence. Your web presence, your social media presence, your digital presence, your physical presence. You see, some people don't need physical presence based on the understanding of the audience that they have. Some people may not even need web presence like that, based on the audience that they have. Now, this is very important and critical, because if you want to build quality audience, if you want to make quality sales, there has to be resonating or connecting messages with connecting presence. Your presence on the media space should reflect the audience that you are trying to reach. Your messaging should reflect the audience that you are trying to reach. That's why I most times sums communication, I sum it as message plus presence. That's the truth. When you see someone that communicates so well, check it. What the person is passing across, and the presence, the appearance, the constant connection of the person, the appearance of the person, the aptitude of the person, the attitude of the person, the approach of the person, everything comes together to speak the communication. So many times when people fail to build audience is because, number one, either the audience are not well defined, or the audience that are defined, there is no corresponding messaging that meets that audience, or there is no presence that clears the air for that audience. Because something begins to happen, and I want you to understand this. Something begins to happen when it comes to audience building. When the audience get noticed, they notice you, the next thing is that they want to see if you match the presence that you're talking about. That's why when you don't have a presence, as you are trying to connect with your audience, with your defined audience, they are not going to jump at you immediately. No, you have to understand that. They will not jump at you immediately. The first thing that needs to happen is that they want to see what you are, who you are, what you do. They want to see, they want you to speak when you are not speaking. So you are introducing a product to me, then I'm interested in your presence. I want to see what are the things you have done before. Who are the people that have patronized you? What are the things? So because all these things must build trust for me to come into the second place, which is community building. So the first thing that you have to do as a strategy for audience building is communication. Communication, and it's simple, defining your audience so that your messages can be meaningful and it will match your presence, either web, digital, social media, or any other form. So those things comes together to form your, what I call your communication. That's very key. That's important. The second strategy for audience building is community building. Oh yes, this is where you bring people to participate, contribute, leverage, the different channels that you have. Community building is a critical part. Community building spans your, all the community building channels that you engage: Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram. Oh yes, the people that follows you on Instagram, the people that follows you on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, all those people, how you work it out forms your community building strategy. And it is so critical that you must allow these things, you must allow it to work well for you. So I remember I was consulting for a business, and I told them, I said, you want to build quality audience, you want to build people, but you don't want to grow with them. You are expecting people that really, they have the capability to engage and patronize you at the highest level of your value. But you are not looking at the growth of the people. I said, from my analysis of your audience, you don't have anybody that can function at that level yet. And I looked at your sales model, I discovered that you don't have anything that can get people at that level yet. I said, you have two options. Is either you change the sales model or you grow with these people that you have right now. So much that as they are growing through community building, as you are growing, you are also growing in value. So you have to be doing things that will empower them to be able to do what? To be able to purchase more, to be able to do more and increase. So community building is about ensuring that people participate, contribute, leverage, and so that everybody wins. Oh yes, that's the essence. So I said, one of the most important department that I would suggest that you have right now is community engagement department. You need community builders. You need people that master it. If you don't have anybody like that, you might as well send maybe one or two of your sales representative or executive for community engagement training. How do we run communities? How do we make community work? How do we do it in such a way that people keep with us? I mean, look at what I'm doing right now. This is going for God knows when. This is going to go on like this for a very a good time. And I believe that as people are growing, we are also growing together. That's community building. That's community building. So when it comes to your strategy for audience building, you must understand that you start from communication and then you get to community building. The third one is sustainability. The third and very critical is sustainability. This is where there is a strategic planning on board. There is your team member, everybody, to make sure that you put the people that you have, to make sure that you put them in, you bring them in, and they are aware of what you do, what you have, and how it is going. You are constantly ensuring that your processes, your planning, your work, your operation are top-notch and working so much that people are not tired of what you are doing. Now, this is very important. What brings about this? Because this is a process. The strategy that I'm showing you right now is a process. You cannot build community if you don't communicate well. And you can't achieve sustainable patronage if you don't run a good community. What makes this happen is the fact that your process must be reinforcing. You must show up every time. You must ensure that the people that you are trying to reach, the audience that you are building, they know you, they work with you, and they are really, 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 really okay, happy that you exist for them. Let me go on. So in strategy for audience building, there are four critical space, which I believe that are very important when you have new program or product for existing audience. So possibly, I'm assuming right now that you have an existing audience. Oh yes. The way to build your audience is that you introduce new products for that existing audience. Or let me assume that you don't have any audience and you are just building. You have a new product for new audience, or existing product to existing audience, or existing product to new audience. Any of the two, you notice that at the back end of your audience building is your product. So as you are working on building the audience, you are also working on your product. There's nothing like, oh, let's hold the product down right now and say, oh, what we are doing right now is I want to build the audience first. I want to start getting known. I want to build the brand. I need you to understand that as you are building the brand, your strategy must also involve how you want to introduce the product into the community and into the people that you are working with. Okay. When it comes to audience building, which is one of the ways, I'm just talking about audience today. Next week, I'm going to be handling another very important aspect that helps you sell faster. But I need you to understand the pain points when it comes to audience building. Remember, the first thing that I spoke about in audience building strategy is communication. That is the place where you understand your audience so that your messaging and your what do I call it now? So that your messaging and your presence can match it. However, in understanding your audience, you must understand their pain points. What are their pain points? What is it that motivates them? What is it that will make them want to buy from you? What is that thing that takes sleep off their eyes? And I'm telling you, that is the way it works. That's how it works. You have to understand the pain points of your audience in order. So can anybody please, I want to use an example, but I want somebody to please put in the chat section. I want you to give me an example of a product that I can use right now. So why? Because I think I really want to practicalize some of the things I'm sharing. So can anybody just go to the chat section and give me just a product to make as an example for what I've said so far and talking about understanding pain points. So the product, if I have the product, then we talk about the kind of audience, we talk about how to build the audience for such. So please, you can go to the chat section and let's have it. Everybody, anybody, please. Okay, fantastic. I have solar products. Beautiful. So solar product. Who are the audience? Who are your audience? Wow. So of course, you can't be talking about solar products and ability to sell faster if your audience are located. Your audience right now in Nigeria will have to be location based because of the solar product. It has to be location based. Let us be clear about it. If it is not location based, and why? Because your audience may not, I didn't say cannot, your audience may not involve people in band A. Somebody that is enjoying 21, 22 hours of electricity on a daily basis cannot be your audience. Oh yes. The people that needs your product are going to be people that really are enduring or cannot no longer endure the pain of not having lights. Oh yes. So this is what I mean by understanding the pain points. So the people that really they can't do without maybe they sell things that needs to be chilled. They have needs for preservation. They have need for lightning to have hotels and places where they don't really have access, or the level of access they have. Maybe they're in band K. If there's any band like that, maybe their band is really, and I'm speaking like this because in Nigerian context, we have different bands based on the number of electricity that is being supplied. So if you have solar product, for example, you have to understand that this is going to be location based. This is going to be location based. That's the first thing. So your audience is going to be defined by location. Out of many things that will define where your audience is coming from, location is going to be a critical part. Very important. So position based, there will also be position. There can also be vocation. Those are the things that you use in defining your audience. So, and their pain points are different. The pain points are different. So when it comes to understanding pain points, you have to look at it from three aspects. You have to look at pain points, or you have to define pain points from three aspects. When I sit with people to be able to really, because everything I'm talking about right now is something that I critically train and coach on. Oh, yes. And when I have this, I sit and says, we want to define your audience based on your product. You have to look at pain points from three angles. Number one, from the angle of culture, from the angle of markets, and from the angle of relationships. Culture, what do I mean by culture? Culture is powerful. Oh yes, if culture is the only one that I can talk about today, especially when defining pain. So you have to understand the pain point of people based on their way of life, based on what is possible and what is not possible. Some people will have the money, but the culture will forbid them from buying your solar product. No matter your product, you must pay attention. You must factor culture. Number two is the market. Is the market. In other words, the market, the pain point is talking about how the market of what you sell, how it affects. So you find someone who have access to solar, but really the battery, and is always angry at, no, why are people doing poor jobs for me? Why is it that this? So you have to look at the satisfactory level, or the level of satisfaction that people have. You have to. You have to. And then the third one is relationships. Relationship can be a pain point. Some people belong to a class of people. Some people belong to a level, and they want someone that can help them to maintain that level. Relationship as a pain point. One of the things about, coming out there and rolling with top class people is that even when you don't like certain product, you have no option than to buy it. I'm telling you why, because based on the level of relationship that you keep, there are certain circles that require certain status. It's very important. You that you are selling, you have to pay attention to that. Relationship makes you pay attention to the status of the people. Market make you pay attention to the satisfactory nature of what they use. You have someone by nature, by virtue of the fact that the person is close to you, keeps complaining about what he bought some weeks ago, and that thing is in tandem with what you do. No, you just have to understand. So the satisfaction or satisfactory level, culture makes you pay attention to the behavioral side, the behaviors. And please permit me to talk about culture today. Let me talk about culture. And why? Because when it comes to defining your audience, so understand, I'm still talking about audience building and an audience definition. So because if we want to build audience, we have to understand this critically. When it comes to the aspect of culture, you need to know that virtually majority of the businesses that are really doing well right now in the country, think about it, most of them are paying attention to culture at a bigger level. And let me say this, if you want to sell well, if you want to sell fast, you must think about culture. Because if you ask me, what is culture? I'll tell you, culture are the set of beliefs and behavior of people that makes them respond to your product, respond to what you do. Anybody, you see, in real estate, because really I spend time with some real estate realtors and some people in coaching. Anyone that has never bought property before, or that has never bought property at a particular spectrum, you will need to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk before they can listen to you. The same thing happens in other aspects. Name it, fashion, banking, name any sector, manufacturing. There is what we call the cultural side of people. It's something that shape their perception, shape their belief, shape their behavior. And you have to think about this. If brands are using this to determine how they sell, how much more you? Look at what banks are doing right now. Banking right now is no longer a function of having a choice bank that you are going to drop. Maybe you want to put money, you want to invest, you want to do. No, they are now doing things to penetrate culture. Look at EcoBank is really hanging on Adire, Look at Wema Bank. Look at what they do, trying to tell you that we are building certain kinds of audience. So they are doing exhibitions right now. Look at GTCO. They are actually having a lot of fun in the aspect of food and drinks, so that a lot of customers, small businesses, big businesses that are into food, that are into drinks, is a chain. Somebody is into events, is banking with GTCO. Somebody is a small business manufacturer, and a lot of things, is banking with Wema. People in fashion, traditional fashion, Adire, they are banking with EcoBank. And what do you think is going on? The bank is doing something. The bank is tapping into the power of their culture to be able to receive them. It's very important to understand this. So the question is, the audience I'm trying to build, what is their culture? Because their culture will determine their pain points, their culture will determine their response, their culture will determine so much. The culture will speak about who they are, what they do, how they do things, everything. The culture is going to speak about it. It's really going to speak. Please, are you still following me? Is anybody still there? Please, I want to know, please. I don't just want to talk. Please, you can let me know in the message section if you are still here with me. Anybody? Oh yes, please. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Wow, beautiful, active. I like that. Wow, beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Innocent. Yes, we are. Amazing. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So you need to understand that if you want to sell, you must pay attention to the culture. Then in that target audience that you have. Trust me. So from just this slide, if you are seeing this slide, you will see that each of these banks have certain target audience. EcoBank Adire is targeting fashion. Wema Bank through Niger Branchik. Everybody knows Niger Branchik trade fair, doing trade fair across. Is targeting small business owners. Oh yes, the number is huge now. Over 60 million people. That sphere is very, very robust. GTCO Food and Drink targeting people in ceremonies, events, because we definitely need food and drinks. You see, they are using the culture of people to channel, to create their customer base. Very key. Let me give you another example. Even though this one, this is another very interesting case study, especially when you are talking about sales and how to get quality sales. I can tell you this is another very important one. So news are beginning to go around right now how ShopRite's branches are getting closed down, shelves are empty, and a lot of things like that. But one day, myself and my PA, we were going, and I asked him, we're passing on the mainland in Lagos, and I asked him to count the number of Bokumats. And I remember that day, he counted 17. I was in the area, or we were going to, I think, Isolo. Oh yes, but we actually passed inward, not Oshodi side. We passed the particulars, and he counted 17 Bokumats. Not big, very small, to meet certain things. Now, what happened? Something began to happen to the culture, or something began to happen to the two. You can, and the idea about this thing is that you can't sell on your own terms. That is what I'm trying to say since morning. You cannot sell to people on your own terms. You have to understand them to be able to sell to them. Because if you don't do that, you will not be able to sell. Now, look at what the strategy that Boku is giving is very amazing. This is the same strategy that iFitness is giving. iFitness will not set up anywhere where there is no Domino Pizza, a Domino as a business, and then maybe Chicken Republic or another very popular, what's it called? Very popular restaurant. You won't find iFitness if those two things. Go and check every location where you find iFitness. You will agree with me, and you will see that those two businesses are existing in those areas. It may not be directly close, but they are existing in those areas. And I will tell you why. I'll tell you why. The reason is because, number one, the rich can afford a gym in their house and they can afford a personal trainer. So that means that people will not go to iFitness for gym. So if all they want, for example, you won't find iFitness in Ikoyi. You will not. Anybody in Ikoyi will not go to iFitness. Yes. They can possibly afford, they possibly have a gym in their homes, and they can afford a personal trainer who will come 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a week to come and help them to be able to do a lot of aerobics and a lot of things like that. It's not as if they can't continue after the personal trainer has left, but they need that person so that there could be a level of accountability. You can see that. That is what we are talking about, culture. So that's a business that understands the culture of a place before I set up and put my product. So that product you are trying to sell, how well do you understand the culture of the people you want to sell it to? So also, you are just looking for people, you are looking for anybody. Even when you want to recruit, I said this, even when you want to recruit your sales executive or sales rep, you don't just put something out. Especially if you want performance, you don't just put it out and just be looking everywhere. Say, oh, I saw a core member, and then I ask, what is the value of your product? I said, no, leave that one, leave that one. I just need somebody to be knocking doors. I said, people have been knocking doors since 2010. And then gone are the days where we knock doors now. There are doors that you cannot knock because they don't even have doors at all. You have to understand the culture of who you want to meet, who you want to have as clients, as customer, and then that will help you to decide who will carry your product, who will represent you, who will get this thing across to them. It's so critical. Some businesses don't need sales reps. They don't need sales team. They need ambassadors. Oh, yes. I'm telling you, they need ambassadors instead of sales team. They need people that have already entered certain places. And then with a few cuts, with possibly 7% or something that comes to them maybe on an annual basis, you are enjoying the access to a network just because you understand the culture of those people. They don't meet strangers. They don't listen to strangers. They won't listen to you. If they have not done it in the last 10, 12, 15 years, they will not do it with you. You must understand your business will never be about you. Oh my God. A few minutes more, and possibly, honestly speaking, we're supposed to have questions because this class is strictly 6 to 7 every Thursday. Like I said, oh my God, I'm so happy we have this number that I'm seeing here. Highly, highly, highly well. Thank you so much, everyone. I think this is the point where I get to talk about what I do. There is one-on-one coaching session, and there is a training coming up that is sales management training that is coming up for our training. Please, you may not have it as a training. If you want it as a personal coaching session, my strength is always on the one-on-one session. You can book a one-on-one session with me, either physically or online. The online will be good because of location space. However, I will also be getting some of our products across to you also. But every Thursday by 6 p.m., it's going to be an amazing. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this will help somebody to be able to map out and sit down and prospect better, approach people better, communicate better, because that's the aim and that is the intention. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh, thank you so much. I have the response. Please, you can the link that got you here is still going to be the link that we are going to be using. Oh yes, I just make sure that I pin that link so that we can make use of it every other week. So next week Thursday, I'm going to send a reminder before that time. Any aspect, if you are not okay, fantastic, how can I take one-on-one session? Please take my number. I believe that you got it from my platform. Please, if you are not on the platform, please, you can send me a message immediately after this class. I'm going to add you. I have a group that where we come together on WhatsApp, so we can have it, and then we'll continue our discussion and conversation from there. Thank you, everyone. I really want to